Hi, I'm Amber.
And I'm Tony.
And we are
Tuned to the Moon.
And if you are as well, then welcome to our little cosy spooky space. I love it in here.
Tea today.
I love it in here. It does look cosy, but it's a little bit cold today. We've had some radiators on.
Yeah. It's freezing outside though. The temperature's completely dropped this week.
And I need to apologise if I smell like garlic. I have a sore throat coming on. Right, so I've got my wee honey and lemon tea, but I always have like a spoonful of garlic with Manuka honey.
You've got your remedy, haven't you?
But I'll have that morning and night, usually through the winter. And see, when I felt this scratch coming on this morning, I was like, we're starting it, we need to start. So I'm going to try and do that every day, but you end up stinking of garlic. So I did have a wee tangerine after it because I thought, oh, that'll maybe keep it at bay.
Yeah, I've actually not smelled anything from you.
Well, it's strong, that it is. And it is quite witchy. I have it like fermenting in my fridge.
Oh, wow.
But I think it works.
Yeah.
Hopefully in like the next 24 hours.
It'll clear.
It's the time of year.
You need to put that up on the actual socials. People
Maybe I
get
should
your
do
recipe.
That. Maybe actually that's a good idea. I could put a wee how to do this.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably get someone coming at me being like, that is not the right way. That's not what you do. But honestly, garlic and honey and then
it works for you.
It works for me.
Yes.
I swear by it. So spooky happenings this week, loads.
Yeah, has anything been happening?
Oh, somebody sent you a video.
Oh, so
you
they
just showed me that there.
So they did.
We will need to put this on Instagram as well and TikTok.
So I don't think we can play the video because I don't think you'd hear it just properly through this. So if I read the message that came with it, because the video itself, was it not like 7 minutes long or something?
Yeah, it was.
And it was
video.
certain parts
That's
that you could hear this. Sorry, I'm trying to find it now.
So it's basically someone's like camera in their house that's picked up.
Yeah. So
what we think and what this person thinks is a spirit.
So she has said this was caught on a camera that I had set up when we got our pup a few years ago. So it was like a living room camera to watch the pup. I know it's long, but around about 150, 340 and 7 onwards, God knows what is being picked up. It couldn't be heard from the house, only on the camera when we were watching the camera back. I heard it and I got my boys to watch it because I thought it was them doing it. She thought it was the boys winding her up, and they watched it with her and were like, no. And she's like, I'm actually tempted to get another one to see if anything happens because this was a few years ago. So on the camera, it's basically you don't see anything. I could see a couple of orbs flying around when I was watching it, but it's mostly like banging and kind of like you spoke about before, hearing things in the house, banging. I'm sure I heard somebody say help me when I listened.
That's just like otherworldly. That's so scary.
But you'd need to like slow it. Do you know what I mean? Like some sort of I don't know what you would call that, editing stuff to slow it right down and to hear it properly. Oh, and what about that one you sent me?
Right.
Was it the energy artist? It's a girl in Glasgow.
Instagram, that's right. And it was a voice note, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they said Stacey.
And the girl who she was talking to was called Stacey.
Someone came through the voice note. Oh, yeah, that's spooky.
And that was slowed right down so you could hear it. You could definitely hear it.
We'll ask this person if they wouldn't mind and we can even share it and see if what
online.
Other people can pick up.
Yeah.
Because the cameras are a big one. My baby monitor, I'm always picking up orbs. There's orbs everywhere.
Yeah.
And I always just take that as, someone's there in the room with them. But sometimes as well, like it'll come up like motion detected and we're not in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
My dog never goes in that room. Like if we're not in the house, my dog is sleeping on the living room couch or in his bed always. And when I've gone on to like watch it back, there's actually not been anything, but it says motion. So I wonder if next time I'll try and like show you. But often it's the same. Like there are noises you can't hear in the house, but you can hear on the monitor.
On the monitor.
It's interesting. Like these
so
cameras
that's maybe
picking up a lot.
Like to do with the frequencies or something. If it's through the sound, I don't know.
Do you know something I tried to pick up on my camera this week?
Oh.
And this is actually my spooky story. And it's wild, right? So I told told a few people this. I might have actually told you this on the morning of it. And I tried so hard to look back on the baby monitor and it wasn't there because the baby monitor only keeps like, say it's like the last 20 interactions.
Yeah.
And this was a night like my wee boy just would not go to sleep. So it was like sound detected, motion detected, and then it clears it. But basically, he loves to hear the story of when he was born. So I will tell him, like, Mummy went to the hospital and then Oban was born and you wore a wee yellow hat. He loves all the details. Wore a wee yellow hat and Mum's bed had wheels and you got wheeled through and we met your gran and your daddy was there for it. So I'll tell him and he loves it. Mummy, tell me the story. And he'll start it. Once upon a time, Oban was born. And then he said to me, he takes his dummy out. So he's 2 in December, so he's still only 1. He takes his dummy out and he goes, Mummy, lady, help me out of Mummy's tummy. And he does talk in full sentences.
Yeah, he's just so cute.
Like no other child I've ever known. But so I said, well, that's right. I had a C-section. So I said, that's right. It was a lady helped you out of Mummy's tummy. And I thought maybe I've told him that in passing or maybe somebody said. And he said, man knocked me down too. So I said, what do you mean? He said, man knocked me down too. And I looked at him. He literally looked me straight in the eye. And he went, man knocked me down on a busy road and lady helped me out Mummy's tummy. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. So I'm like this, sitting up in his bed. I'm like, what do you mean, darling? Was this before? Was this after you came out Mummy's tummy? Tell me more. And he just went, man knocked me down on a busy road. Then he's just lying there. Then he's talking about his wee yellow hat coming out Mummy's tummy. And I thought,
past
life shit. Oh my God. Is that what the first thing you take from that?
Yeah.
That was spooky
That's
to
his
me.
death and that's his reincarnation.
So you think in a past life he's
been
possibly been knocked down? Or, you know, the people who don't believe it will just be like, he's just talking nonsense.
He's just too imagining.
But why would he say he was knocked down on a busy road and then a lady helped him out my tummy? It makes no sense. Has anybody ever else had these experiences with kids? Like, there must be.
Yeah, there must be loads. If you've had, your kids have had, or you as a child have had these experiences, please let us know.
Because there was the wee boy in Glasgow. I actually sent you that documentary.
Yeah,
Did you watch it?
Yes.
The wee boy in Glasgow he was called Cameron, and it was quite a famous story. He, in great detail, spoke about his life in Barra on the island.
The island,
He spoke about his white house, his black and white dog. The family were Robertson.
Yeah.
Spoke about how his dad died.
Yeah. Playing on the beach.
The planes on the beach, the rainbows, there was a gate.
Yeah.
And basically in the end they got this specialist from Virginia to come over.
And they took him, didn't they?
They took him to Barra, him and his mum and his brother. Single mum in Glasgow. She just seemed so lovely and she just wanted to help, didn't she? And they took him to Barra, and at the start he saw the planes landing on the beach, and did you see he was
excited.
Like, I told you it's not, and he was only 6.
I told you it's true.
Was he 6 or was he 5?
5 or 6.
He was really young. He was like, I told you it's true, I told you it's true. And then it looked like it wasn't going to be a successful trip.
It's like, was it the guy that deals with the history of the island was like, no, there's no Robertsons here. But then phones the next day and is like, actually, we only keep record of the people who were residents here. Right. But this was a holiday home or something.
They came from the mainland,
yeah,
that's right.
And came over and they were Robertsons.
They were Robertsons, and he said the exact house that they lived in, and it was a white house by the shore. And he said, I know what you're going to say because I did the same. Did you cry at that bit? So he described this wee boy had described this house by the shore. And the historian said where the Robertson family lived, you could not be any more by the shore.
Yeah.
And this wee boy had described the gate to the beach and everything. So they didn't tell the wee boy. The documentary's like 10 years old. We'll put a link on stories. It's on YouTube. It's 10 years old.
The boy who lived before.
It's really good. So they take him down this road. They don't tell him where he's going. And oh my God, they went to the house and it was just...
I could feel it though.
Yeah. The wee boy who was so chatty did not stop talking. He was silent, and they took him up to the the gate of the house and he just
Could actually
sobbed.
cry even
So
thinking
could I.
about it. Like,
He just sobbed. He cried, and the mum was like, "It's okay," and he just cried so much.
Yeah.
But the gate was there to the beach.
yeah.
The planes were landing on the beach.
Obviously, the house was more modern inside, but the fire that he,
the fire,
like,
yeah,
everything
everything that he had described
but it was
there.
he thought that his bara mum
No,
was still going to be there.
I know he was looking for family who
Oh, bless him.
were no longer there. But why do you think that? Why do you think? Just first of all, on like surface level, why were the tears there? Would that have just been built up emotion, or would it have been trauma
For him.
For him,
Well, I think the guy, the expert one who was that a university researcher or something? The Virginia guy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Who was specifically working on past life. He did say at the beginning that it can go one way or the other, and they can either have a really traumatic experience when they like go to the place or meet the people, or it can be really nice experience and then they kind of let it go because of it.
Yeah, let it go and forget
it. But oh my God, I think you weren't expecting it either, I don't think, when you're watching it. I know, sorry guys.
No, but it's so nice.
But like I do so much work with past lives that I just know how the wee guy was feeling. So I think like that just really hit me, that I was just actually sitting on my couch sobbing watching it, because he will have been like, one, maybe it's not sadness, maybe it's just a mix of emotion, overwhelm, because he's right. He's probably been getting told off so many people from the age of 2 that he's talking rubbish and he's making stuff up. So there's that, like, oh my God, this is true. He's believing it fully himself. But then that shock as well. I think even the mum was like, I don't know how to feel right now. I feel sick.
She did say that. I don't know how to feel.
Because this had been going on since the wee guy was able to speak. They had been talking about his bara family.
His bara dad, that's right.
And his brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And it's hard because it gets to a point in the documentary that it's still left. It could be, it might not be. But what I especially always say to clients, because the healing sessions that I do always go into past lives. Past lives always come into it. There is no denying what you can feel, right? You can think what you want and you can let your brain tell you it's a lot of rubbish. But when your body physically reacts to something, you believe it, because it's like the tangible thing that we're talking about when you're saying you want to be able to see. If you are having a physical reaction to something, it's real. Do you know what I mean? You're feeling that.
Everybody, again, just on surface level, not looking too deep, if somebody's wanting to relate to that, we can all relate in a relationship we've maybe been in, or, you know, that way, like when you literally say, oh, sparks fly, like it's like you can feel that. Like attraction or energy to someone, connection, a friendship, even a feeling like someone walks in the room, you go, oh, that's something feels off. Or if it's just when people say like, I just have this gut feeling about it, listen to that. So then we're looking again a lot deeper, and this little boy has, and I'm not saying that's what Owen's going through, but obviously, because it's, I don't believe it is. I think it was just a remark, and it might have been from, but I don't believe he's going to go out and search for, that's what I'm kind of trying to say. I don't think he's on that level. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was going to just ask you out of curiosity, is like, why would some spirits be back in this earth, you know, reincarnated as somebody else, but have that real strong connection to a past life, whereas some of us will come to you, because I've been to you for a session on a kind of past life regression, which we can touch on a bit later on in the episode, but people are then actively seeking it. Why are some people still so connected to that?
So it's the children, remember? We're back to children again.
Okay.
So there won't be many adults that remember. Right. He won't have the same memories now. Cameron, if you're watching, correct me if I'm wrong.
I was going to say, could he come and see you and get
I mean, he will have these memories because it's out everywhere.
I was thinking that.
But if you allowed that to progress in Owen, chances are age groups keep remembering things up until maybe primary school age.
Yeah.
And then the more that goes, we lose it, we shut it down. One, you're getting more into this life. So there's things happening here that your brain is soaking up. And like we spoke about in one of the previous episodes, you're maybe getting shut down with a lot of things. That's not real. Stop talking rubbish. You're imagining it. That you would then just forget as you go into adulthood, which is why adults then come for sessions to try and tap into it. But probably most kids do have some sort of memory about it, and they just don't know that it's a memory. With that case...
Yeah, that's very true.
I think... so basically, in the line of work I do, the more lives you have had, the more trauma you're going to have experienced, right? Some people can have had millions of past lives, not just a couple.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like thousands, millions, maybe even more. That's like when people would say you're an old soul. Yeah, you hear that all the time. But when you've had all these past lives, how much trauma are you going to have had? Think about your life right now and how much trauma we might have had. Times that by 100, 1,000, 1,000,000. You're going to be carrying memories from all of them to an extent. Or do you forget it when you're in the next life and then you forget that one? I don't know.
But your soul carries the trauma, basically, is what you believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your spirit carries that. So for all we know, because there was some parts of that they were like, oh, but he got that right, but he didn't get that right. They're trying to prove, right? We know I hate that.
I know, absolutely.
But he could have had memories like, I think it was the first name. He got the surname right, but he got the first name of his dad wrong. That could have been his dad's first name in another life, and it's merging with that one. And or he just might not be interpreting it properly because...
And yet he was so little as well. That was the thing. He was so small, and I do think they were relying a lot on him feeding them full information.
Yeah.
And the mum did say a few times to him, it's okay if you don't remember.
Yeah.
And she was lovely. But there were a lot of times he didn't say almost what the experts kind of wanted.
Yeah.
And that must be frustrating for somebody like you who works with these spirits and people who are trying to rid trauma from past life and this life.
Because that's why I do what I do. You've hit the nail on the head there. When you are in this life, as we are today, carrying trauma from previous lives. So this can come into, say you have a phobia and you've no idea why you're scared of it.
Ah, this is interesting.
Probably a past life connection, and you're carrying it through to this life. When you
Because some people have really strange fears that are pretty much unexplainable, and their parents will say,
I've got no idea.
I've got no idea where that came from. It started as a child.
Yeah. You could have a fear of drowning because you have died from a drowning accident in a past life. So you're then going to obviously carry that in. One of the big things that comes up for me, which is ironic now that I'm sitting here doing this, is being silenced. So I've had many lives where I have been silenced for doing this kind of work, for being a medium, for being a psychic, for being a healer, for talking about this kind of stuff.
They just keep making you back in different forms to the same thing until you do it. Now she's on the pod.
Yeah, here we are.
Your work here's complete.
Because how long have I been doing this kind of healing work to deal with that stuff, to now go, no, I'm not going to be silenced. I'm going to come and I'm going to speak about this stuff. So we are healing. It's a massive thing right now. Everybody's talking about healing generational trauma. So like you're healing your lineage through the healing work that you do for your mum, for your gran, your dad, blah, blah, blah. But nobody really speaks about the past life side of it, because you're not just carrying your ancestors' stuff. You're also carrying stuff from these previous
No wonder
lives.
my back is breaking, because I'm carrying a lot with the family and the lineage.
All those females before you.
Those females before me. And that's not even touching on past lives.
No.
How do you, I've obviously been for a session with you. How though, if somebody was interested, how do you start to tap into those past lives? And do you find people can often be, like me, blocked a bit or not wanting to open up? Because I was very much like, I want to figure it out, but I don't know why, and you know this, but like Tony knows, but I just have this thing with like breaking down and crying publicly in front of people. I think it's because it just comes from my job as well. Like I always
generation as well.
Yeah, and I always have a face on. I know a lot of us do with jobs, and it doesn't mean I'm not real or true. I'll be very honest on my social media channels about how I'm feeling, but that actual physical, vulnerable breakdown of crying, I'll have a wee tear and be like, oh, what am I like? But
fine.
Yeah, so that's what I found really hard was the breaking barriers. Do you find a lot of people are like that? How do you go about looking into past lives if someone's just starting from scratch and wants to do it?
I mean, the stuff that I do is slightly different to a solely going for a past life regression.
That's right.
So if you are tapping into that side of things, I would recommend going for a past life regression. I'm not going to punt you straight towards me for the healing side. So during past life regressions, you are kind of put into like a meditative state, hypnosis type thing, to be shown these lives. And a lot of that they'll say is for entertainment purposes. They have to say that legally, that's what it is. It doesn't really mean, same with mediums and psychics.
Why do you have to say it's entertainment? Does that not totally like almost mock what you do?
It's just to cover us in case they go and say, well, my psychic told me to do this, or past life regression therapist said this. So that you're covered legally, unfortunately. But that's kind of, the regressions are like that, and you'll maybe, like you'll have your eyes closed, you'll maybe visualise if you work that way. You might think things, hear things, and it just kind of paints a picture of what a past life might have looked like. And then depending on the practitioner that you go to, some of them, depending on their background, I suppose, will then maybe look at, well, what's the links between that life and this life? So what happened in that life that you've just been shown, how can you connect that to the patterns and behaviours that are playing out in this life? Because it can help you break it. Whereas the stuff I do is a whole deeper level of that.
So have you been for your own past life regression?
Yeah, I've had a few.
And how did you find them? Like, did you come out feeling like you had answers, or is that when you started wanting to do more of the healing? What was your kind of journey with that?
I mean, it happened naturally. When I was doing mediumship and I used to run my development classes, one of the students that came then started doing past life regressions. She went and learned how to do that. Her name's Kelly. Still doing it now. I think Saturn Therapies her business is. So if you are looking for a past life regression, she's your go-to. So I went to her. I think I had 2 or 3. And
were they all different lives you saw?
Yeah, different lives.
Okay.
The reason I went is because I was in a development, my own, like my mentor was holding a development circle, so I was part of it. And it was meant to be like a meditation kind of transfiguration where the other students were watching me go into this meditation and I would turn into what my spirit guide was.
Okay.
But it took a wee bit of a turn, and Jim Clark, the mentor at the time, he does not believe in past lives.
Does he not?
No, he says
he's
until
a very well-known
medium in Scotland. Yep, he's amazing. But he was like, I don't believe in past lives until something happens for me to prove it to me. But during my time in the spirit guide meditation, it was so physical. Like I could feel myself as the person that I was being shown, and the people watching could see me changing into this. It was like a Native American girl, but like I was physically, like my heart was racing. I don't really want to go into it too much, but I was basically like on a stake type thing, a wooden thing with fire, not burning me, around me. It was more like a protective type of thing. And he had to take me out of it. And he sat and he went, I know I don't believe in past lives, but I think that's the closest thing that I've felt that it could be. I think you've just been tapping into a past life.
Oh my God.
So this was way back at the start of my journey. I know. So he put me back into it.
But well, I'm so intrigued.
He asked if I would go back into it. And of course I was like, yeah. Because even though it felt uncomfortable, I knew I was safe. So after that, I was like, past lives.
Did you get back into it? Then you managed to? It's not like a dream you can't get right well.
Got back in. Because it's all just guided. So after that, I was like, right, I need to start looking into this more because I do believe in it. I've just felt it there. Yeah. Like that was a whole other level of doing meditations. And yeah, different lives. There's been Egyptian ones. I'm trying to think back to the 3 specifically. Like, I don't know what that would be called. This is ridiculous because I refer to everything to movies. Aladdin. Like that type of, it was like a Jasmine type energy, the buildings and things. But it gave me, I think because of my counselling as well, I was very much able to create loads of links between things and why I was doing what I was doing in relationships in this life, because the people in those lives were the same people that were in this life. So Ryan, my husband in this life, was my dad in the Jasmine type life.
Oh my God.
I need to go into it now, don't I? Because for you to understand. So basically I was this like princess. It was a big, whatever, it's not a palace.
Right,
that's the word I'm looking for, sorry. But I was ill from being a child. It was only me and the dad, and there was this like, maybe like his second-hand man, I don't know, not a servant, but
so dad was like quite high up in power, like
and
royalty maybe.
Yeah. Mum must have been passed, she must have been gone, but the way it was shown me at first, and this is the way it happens, it's all quite bitty and you're kind of jumping from bits trying to understand it. It seemed as if I was just this maybe like late teens and I was locked in the palace. I wasn't allowed to leave the palace. Like Aladdin, wasn't allowed to go out, nothing like that. So it was as if he was this really overprotective father, but he wouldn't speak to me. So all communication went through this other man. And then it took me back to my birth in that life, when they were told that I had this illness, and it was basically that I wasn't going to live. So they were expecting me to pass at any point because of this illness. So of course, the father, especially when the mum passed, was then going to keep me locked away because he was worried that I was going to die because of this illness. Yeah, crazy.
I mean, and I think you've got to, you know, you really have to be open to it, because there are people who will, whereas like I am so intrigued, and there are people who'll be like, she just washed Aladdin and had the drink.
I really couldn't even have told you the last time before that I watched Aladdin.
Like, I am so intrigued by that, because how did you know that was like Ryan's spirit before? How did you know that?
So the way that then came about was at the very end. So again, to do with your practitioner, Kelly, I was telling, you're speaking through it.
Yeah.
And she was like, right, okay, so what's the connection with this life? Do you recognise your dad? And I says, I've not been able to see him. He won't show me his face. And she was like, right, go back in, ask. And he turned, and I could just see Ryan as he is today. But in this...
No, that is so weird,
so weird.
That is so weird, thinking that your dad you can see today, you're going to marry in the next life.
I know, and I'll go into that in a minute.
Is that why people say you marry someone like your dad?
I don't know.
It's all piecing together.
I don't know.
In the weirdest way.
But I burst into tears in that moment when I saw him. So again, it's down to this what are you feeling in the moment? So people listening will be like, right, whatever, a lot of shite. But I was sitting there hysterical because I could feel that connection.
But do you think as well he actually looked like Ryan, or that just showed you?
I think it showed me, so I
just
knew
showed
who
you
it was.
how you see his spirit now in human form.
So I knew it was him, because then I was able to make so many connections. So sorry, Ryan, if you do listen to this, but at that point in our relationship, I was very like keeping him at a distance, like that whole empowered female. I can do everything myself. I don't need you.
And the
type
thick
shit.
of having 3 kids and just working and
Aye, bullshit. But anyway,
busy and
sorry, feminists. But it showed me how much resentment I had in that life for my dad, because I felt like he was just keeping me captive. He didn't like me. Why was he not talking to me? I just wanted to be loved by him. But I was then carrying this resentment towards Ryan in this life.
And you met Ryan in this life and thought, I resent this man, marry me.
Yeah, obviously it comes out in different points.
No, but
it triggered certain
it's interesting.
things.
That's so interesting.
So
how
I could then go and work on that resentment, because I knew it wasn't even related to
And I
this
can-
life. He's not done anything.
I know, well, it's somebody that we both know who came to you for a session and also saw her current husband as somebody else in a previous life.
Yeah.
And she said that as well. So that's like, that is really making me wonder, is everybody in our life now connected to all our past lives?
Yeah.
And if you just go around the family, you're like,
Basically,
married
that is
my
what
mum,
happens.
married my dad, married the brother,
Yeah.
this person's my sister.
So the beliefs again, all beliefs.
And it's not rubbish in it, by the way. It's just
No,
because
no.
I fully believe in it. But it's like, is that what? Are there only like a certain amount of souls in the world, and we just live all these lives with the same ones?
So you are connected to your people, like maybe not all of them. Some people can be newer than others, obviously. So you will have had less lives with some and more lives with others, depending on how long they've been here and how long you've been here. But that's essentially the way I see it. So you, your mum, your dad, Callum, his family, even us, we all have had past life connections. You all play different roles in every life because you're here to learn things. So you're all basically, before, I don't know how this works, maybe you're in a wee dimension somewhere, or I don't imagine it'll be a room like this, just sitting going, right, okay, who's taking this time? But you are essentially going into contracts.
They talk about like the portals, didn't
coming
they?
through the whole,
through a
but
portal and
that's
being
what
an
that
adult and being
sounded
a child.
like when Oban said it. I crashed,
did?
and then I came out the tummy.
Oh my God, I'm actually shivering.
I know.
That is what that sounded like, a portal. Like he was somebody who got knocked over.
And this all happened with Oban before we watched that documentary.
I know.
And it's the same.
I would never have let him watch it, but
No, but it's the same way in.
it was actually his dad that sent me it after that happened. I thought he would have. I thought he would have rubbished it, but when I told him, he was like, "What the fuck?" and then sent me the documentary and was like, "Watch this."
It's crazy. So that's my belief with past lives. The reason we are even here in this life right now is because we have things to learn. We have trauma to let go of. My belief on the whole earth thing is that we are trying to raise the consciousness of earth, and the only way we can do that is by healing our own traumas, generational traumas, the planet's traumas. And the only way we can do that is each life you come into, you are then letting go of stuff from the lives before.
So you mentioned the fact that it's becoming quite normal to talk about like generational trauma and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think that's actually a good thing for Earth or a bad thing for the world?
No, I think it's good because it's working. Like everything that we spoke about with the veil being thinner and people being more aware, people not just believing everything that they hear, even this right now. Like if your body is not reacting to this in some way, if you're sitting going, right, that's a lot of crap, then
Don't
move
listen.
on and don't listen, because this is not for you and you're not ready to hear it right now. But there will be people listening to this going, oh my God, this has happened to me, or I need to go and see somebody about this. This makes sense to me. I understand this. I know this already. Like, because it's their belief.
So just for a bit of clarity, if you are in that situation and you do want to look into past lives,
Yeah.
what is it? 'Cause like I was saying earlier, I've been to
Yeah,
see
with
you.
me, yeah.
What do you actually then, just for somebody new to it, what do you do? Because you were explaining the practice that you went through for the full
The
regression.
regression.
Yours is more healing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you,
What do
obviously
I
without
do?
giving away all your secrets, like,
And I was going to say, it's not even secrets. It's like, how do you even put that into words, what the sessions are?
it's weird though, because when I think back, my session was a while ago, and I think it's probably recommended to go quite often, but I
Yeah.
was not blocked. It kind of, I enjoyed it in a way, but I felt very vulnerable because I was crying a lot.
Yeah.
And I also was like, am I ready
Yeah.
to do that again? I don't know. And I think just because I had that slight doubt, I thought, let's just wait until.
Yeah.
See, when I booked it, I thought, nah, the time is now, just do
Let's
it.
do it. Yeah.
I need
You
to
knew
feel
you
that
had
again.
to go.
But yeah, it was that. Do you know what it almost was as well? I think Tony was like, I remember lying there, and it was very like, I don't think I've ever felt as like at the end of that session as chilled out and
Yeah.
as just
Ever.
this weird feeling of almost just like
Yeah.
being a marshmallow.
Just nothing.
Just
That's the
nothing.
best way to put it. Yeah.
Such a nice feeling.
Yeah.
But when you were asking me like, what can you see? And I remember saying like I could see myself, like, again, it was locked. I was like, I can see myself locked in this. I think it was like stone walls. There were chains. And you were like, yeah, like keep talking. But part of me felt like, am I making this up and she's going to think it's bullshit? And it was me blocking, you know, that way it was me blocking myself, thinking she's not going to believe me.
And that is why you need to come for sessions, because we need to get that doubt away.
I know. But
So you cannot unblock that
there was a lot in
without
there.
having sessions.
I didn't even see it, but I felt it, and this is deep. And
Yeah, it's really.
but you know, and probably a bit of a trigger warning if you have experienced baby loss. I haven't in this life, but I was inconsolable because I just knew in that life I had.
Yeah.
And you just did this really lovely kind of, I don't even know what you would call it. Like, it was a really nice session that almost, it was like reuniting.
Yeah.
And it was lovely. I was howling. I don't cry a lot. And I was really crying. Although I get emotional, I can feel myself getting emotional now,
you just
but I
don't
push it
let
down.
yourself. Yeah, you suppress
And then
it.
at the end of the session, I'd said to Tony, my gran, who's my mum's mum, I could see her so clearly next to me. And she just said thank you and went away. And I was like, oh my God.
And that right there is why I don't do readings anymore. And people have to come for the healing to connect with their loved ones, because you got to connect with her.
I connected,
It wasn't me passing information to you.
Yeah.
You saw her, you felt her, you heard her. You had that with her, not
and also
me.
what I took from that was she lost
Yep.
a few children. She lost, and I just straight away almost just knew like they're reunited, and that's
So what
I've helped
what we've done in
facilitate
that session is clear a layer of child loss from your entire lineage.
Yeah,
And it's not me. I'm a channel. It's them, the universe, the light, whatever name you want to give. It's energy healing. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, I'm booking back in. Like,
That's it.
I'll solve all the problems.
Especially if you're feeling resistance to it, that's the best time to do it, because that is something heavy and negative within you that is trying to stop you from coming. If you get that, I need to go and see Tony, great, go see Tony. But if there's I need to go and see Tony, and then but what if this happens again? What if that? The only way you're going to clear the stuff is to be there and feel it. So even though what I'm doing incorporates past lives, incorporates mediumship, the main thing I'm doing is clearing emotion from your body and connections and traumas throughout lifetimes, so that this life gets better.
And do some people come to you and not see a past life, or do some
Mm-hmm.
people come and see a few?
Yeah. So I have lots of clients who do not believe in past lives. They watch this and be like, that's bullshit, even though they come and have the sessions. I keep the past life stuff to myself and they focus on healing
Can you
this
see
life.
their past lives?
Yeah. So I can see what you're seeing.
But wait, how though, if you can see what I'm seeing, that then makes me worry, like, what if I say the wrong thing? Would you say, oh, that's not what I'm seeing just now, hun?
No, I would let you see what you're seeing and guide you to be like, right, okay, what else is there until I know? Because when then we marry up, we know we're seeing the same thing. That I need to know we're on the same page, because you might be in a different life to me. It's not that you're wrong. I'm never going to tell you you're wrong.
See, I like that.
Nothing is stupid, nothing. And that's what I say to you during it. Say what comes in. I don't care what it is. Just say it. Because I need you to be saying things for me to grab it.
And can somebody still get something out of the sessions if they're not seeing?
Oh, absolutely. I've got loads that come that are completely blocked because of the amount of trauma they've had in this life, let alone the other lives. They still see, it's not even that you see changes, you feel clearer. You just feel clearer, like something shifts. You don't react as much to people, you don't react as much to things, you're more aware. And it does take time, and you're never going to be fully healed. I'm sorry, guys. It's not a quick fix. It's time and it's layers. You could come back and it could be a whole other session about what we already done, because you're onto the deeper layer of it, depending on how many lives you've had.
So then, do you ever do any work with past lives in children, or is that just do you just go by what they start talking about, and then would you encourage them to talk more?
Yeah, so that's why, like, this is where it's different from any other energy healing, because you're talking the whole way through it. It's not lying there, because you made a good point, and I'm glad you did. You feel great at the end. You feel that love and that nothingness, but throughout it, you're talking, you are sometimes crying, you don't need to be. You're feeling things physically in your
You were
body.
saying to me, let it out, just let it out.
That's because I know you need to.
Okay.
But some people don't. I lie there and it's like tiny tears in my ears, like, and I don't have an issue crying. But everybody's going to release. Some people lie there like screaming, sit up, like possessed, screaming.
Really?
And things coming out, yeah. It's different for everybody, and I would never ever shut anybody down. Even if I did see something completely different, they're just being taken in a different direction, and I then need to get onto that same place, or I need to deal with both separately. So the people that don't believe in past lives, they're there to deal with what's going on in this life. They're having a difficult time and we're healing that. But I am then healing the past life stuff, well, not me. I'm going into the past life stuff at the same time.
So interesting. And can you see in your own children, like, do you ever look and think you're an old soul, or can you see past lives in them, or would you need to sit and do a session?
Yeah, you need to be tapping in, and you need their permission for that
with
as
like
well.
a 9-year-old or a 5-year-old or whatever.
They can go for sessions. Kids can have sessions. It's nowhere near, you're not lying on the bed for 2 hours the way that the adults are. But you can do it with them. I've had a couple with like teenagers, and they've blown me, like I could even cry just thinking about them, blowing me away. And it's because they're so much more open.
Yeah.
So it's so much easier to get in. They've not got as many blocks to work through, and they can just tap into, sorry, I'm getting emotional, so much of that out there. That it's healing for me at the same time, even holding these sessions for people, because I'm working in that light that you guys are in. So children can, but
you must go through so many Kleenex. It's just so many jumpers.
Jumpers.
I've actually been emotional this week, just at random things that my wee boy's doing.
Yeah.
But that's the most emotional I felt, like vulnerable.
Yeah.
In public and stuff. Like, he was singing a song in the car, word for word. And I just couldn't stop crying, and that's not me. But no, I'm like, am I maybe just becoming a bit more
because of him? Absolutely, you
open
will be.
because of him, and that is actually really nice.
You will
Though
be.
it's not that I'm not absolutely in any way not cold. I do get emotional, but I'm very much.
It's
I
just
feel it
beliefs.
coming, and I'll do something like that, make a joke. Oh, you must go through loads of Kleenex. Shut it down. Like,
But that's your coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And it's through.
or I remember coming for like, I think it was at the first session I came for, or like a reading with you, and I was like, oh, who's getting him through? Like dead celebrities. We didn't see Michael Jackson moonwalking. Let's go. And you were just like, Amber, you just need to like don't like. I get that's how you cope, but just like come and be open. Like,
Yeah.
So that's really it's interesting that teenagers are so.
Teenagers and younger kids, definitely.
Yeah, I could see that in you. You were really feeling that there.
Yeah, and even that, I don't remember. Like when you're talking about your session, it takes me a while to kind of go back into that and to feel into the energy of what happened. And the more you're talking, I can get into it. But just thinking about those teenager sessions,
There's a link there emotionally.
My heart is
How do you
actually,
clear that when you're going to bed or whatever? Do you have to really?
I don't do a single thing now.
Do you just
Funny because of this card that's just come up actually.
Really?
What I'm about to say.
Okay, we've got our card pull.
Because it's actually crazy. I now believe that I'm really protected by the light that I work in, even though like I used to do Reiki, different types of like healing modalities, and I would be, even the mediumship, I would be really drained after it. I'd be really tired, sore heads, all that kind of thing. When I used to do floor shows, I would be in my bed for days after it because of the amount of energy, and that would be me with crystals and my bubble around me and all these different techniques. With what I do now, I feel the way you feel at the end of that session when you feel that light, fuzzy, floaty way, that is me for the rest of the day.
Love that.
So for me, I don't need protected from what we're doing in those sessions because it's all light. There's no, even though we're working with heavy stuff, there's nothing that would drain me in that session.
You are so high up. You're floating.
After it, the same way that you feel. You're tired after it. Your clients are exhausted after it because you've just done a shift lying on a bed for 2 hours. But that's how you know there's something happening as well.
Yeah.
So it's not nice and relaxing. Don't be fooled by that. But you do get an element of that at the end when you know you've cleared.
I fully would encourage people to even go once.
And this wasn't an episode to promote my services.
I know, but
it's
don't
just
diminish
past
what you do. Absolutely, like it's not an ad, but at the same time, it's what you do. People are interested, and I think a lot of people who are interested in it don't know where to turn and they don't know who to go to. So even having you a message for a bit of advice, what session would be good for me, just to go and see. I think just try it.
And our card is the armadillo, which that got brought up actually.
I did bring that up a few episodes ago.
Yeah, as a sign. Now,
that's right.
Funny,
how funny is that?
because I didn't remember at the time, right? But Ryan's cousin, she came to one of my things that you came to, like the development group things, and it was like asking for a sign. She asked for an armadillo after it, so that it was the most random thing, and she got it. I can't remember what the story is now. It was years ago, but she got it. So the reason this is quite interesting based on what I just said is the armadillo is usually all about protection. So years ago, if I was given this reading, it would have been you need to protect yourself, crystals, incense, sage, whatever. But it's not. It's looking at, so I feel like there is 2 different messages coming through here. So for some of you, it'll be looking at what armor do I have up that I need to bring down. So where am I heavily protecting myself that I don't need to? So it might be relationships in your life or maybe like work situation. I feel like that's coming through for some people, that you're really guarded and you've got this wall up, and it's like bring it down a wee bit because you don't need to protect yourself to that level that you are. I feel like it's past experiences, funnily enough, are now making you be this way in every situation when it doesn't need to be that way. So let your guard down a little bit. But the other message, it's the total opposite of that for some listeners. You need to have stronger boundaries in place, whether that's with yourself or with someone around you. It's kind of like you're being walked all over. So are going quite deep with you here. Sorry, guys. But this is going to continue to happen until you reinforce these boundaries. And I'm hearing like, you know, when it's like, oh, I shouldn't need to tell them twice. I shouldn't need to tell them more than once. Why do I need to keep telling them? You do need to keep telling people when you are putting new boundaries in place. These people have been behaving this way for so long. Some could be like 50, 60 years that these learned behaviours have been in place, that you are unfortunately going to need to remind them repeatedly. And that could be, I keep asking him to take the bin out. Why can he not just take the bin out? You need to keep doing it until it becomes that habit and this new learned behaviour that they are going to just do it without you reminding them. It feels way deeper than that, but obviously I'm not going to go into people's stuff live on a podcast. Yeah. But you need to keep putting the boundary in place. That is the message that needs to go out to one of you. Keep reinforcing this same boundary, because I feel like you're not meant to walk away from this situation. It can change. You just need to be stronger with that boundary. That was quite
there are so many things in that, but what I love about these collective visions is that somebody can always take something from it. And we will be posting these as we do on the TikTok and Instagram, put them in a little collection as well, so they're easy to see all the little the card pulls as well. And I just love that part of the podcast where everybody gets something
a little bit from it.
And as always, you can get in touch at Tuned to the Moon Pod on TikTok and Instagram, and we will see you next week.